Why do some people keep green aventurine in their wallet, beside their cash, near their bank cards, or even on their desk where they handle money? Is it really a money magnet? Or is there something deeper behind this practice? And here is the part most crystal videos don't tell you. Green aventurine does not magically create money, and there is no scientific evidence that placing a crystal beside your cash directly increases your income. So, if you are looking for a realistic answer, stay with me. Because the real story behind green aventurine, money, intention, and abundance is much more interesting than simply calling it a wealth crystal. Green aventurine is a variety of quartz, usually recognized by its green color and its characteristic aventurescence, that subtle sparkling effect created by mineral inclusions inside the stone. Its green color is commonly associated, in spiritual and crystal traditions, with growth, renewal, opportunity, optimism, and the energy of the heart. And over time, these symbolic associations became strongly connected with prosperity and abundance. But why money specifically? Think about what money actually represents in everyday life. Money is not only paper or numbers inside a bank account. For many people, money is connected with security, freedom, opportunity, self-worth, fear, pressure, survival, and sometimes even guilt. So when someone keeps green aventurine near their money, the crystal itself is not secretly changing their bank balance. What it can do, within a spiritual or intentional practice, is become a physical reminder of the mindset they want to cultivate around money. And that distinction matters. Because there is a huge difference between saying, "This crystal will make you rich," and saying, "This crystal reminds me to approach opportunities, decisions, and abundance with a more positive and intentional mindset." The second idea is much more grounded. In crystal traditions, green aventurine is often associated with luck, opportunity, growth, confidence, and abundance. That is why you will frequently find people placing it inside a wallet, beside their cash box, near a workspace, close to financial documents, or somewhere they regularly think about money. The symbolism is simple. You are placing a symbol of growth in a place connected with your financial life. But there is another layer that I find much more interesting. Your environment constantly gives your mind cues. If you repeatedly see something, touch something, or interact with something while thinking about a particular intention, that object can become an anchor for that intention. For example, imagine someone keeps green aventurine in their wallet. Every time they open the wallet, they see it. Instead of immediately thinking, "I don't have enough money," they may consciously remind themselves, "I want to become more aware of opportunities. I want to make wiser financial decisions. I want to grow." The crystal hasn't paid the bill. It hasn't transferred money into the bank account. But it has become a physical reminder of the behavior and mindset they are trying to build. And that is where crystal practice becomes much more powerful when symbolism is connected to action. Because abundance without action remains an idea. You can keep 10 crystals beside your wallet, but if you never learn a skill, never look for opportunities, never improve your financial habits, never communicate your value, and never take responsible action, the crystal cannot do that work for you. This is one of the biggest misconceptions in the crystal world. A crystal is not a replacement for action. It can be used as an intention tool, a ritual object, a mindfulness reminder, or a spiritual symbol. But your decisions still matter. Your habits still matter. Your skills still matter. Your relationship with money still matters. And your actions still matter. Now, there is another reason green aventurine became so popular for money-related practices. Its symbolism is not limited to having more. It is often connected with growth. And growth is a much healthier way to think about abundance. Instead of asking only, "How can I get more money?" you can ask, "What can I grow? What skill can I improve? What opportunity am I ignoring? What can I create? Where am I undervaluing myself? Where am I making decisions from fear? Where can I become more consistent?" That changes the entire meaning of the crystal. Green aventurine becomes less about chasing money, and more about creating the conditions in which better opportunities, decisions, and growth can happen. And there is one more interesting symbolic connection. Green aventurine is often associated with heart-centered energy in modern crystal practices. Whether you interpret that spiritually or simply symbolically, it creates an interesting question. Can you pursue money without allowing fear, greed, or desperation to control every decision? Because sometimes the problem isn't that someone doesn't want abundance. The problem is that they are constantly operating from scarcity. They may have opportunities in front of them, but fear prevents them from acting. They may have valuable skills, but they are afraid to charge fairly. They may want to start something new, but they keep telling themselves, "What if I fail?" And this is where an intentional crystal practice can become meaningful. You can hold green aventurine, look at it, and use that moment to consciously redirect your attention. Not, "Make me rich," but, "Help me remember that I am capable of recognizing opportunities, learning, growing, and taking aligned action." That is a much deeper intention. Now, if you want to keep green aventurine near your money, there are several simple ways you can do it. You can place a small polished stone inside your wallet. You can keep it near a cash box or workspace. You can place it beside your journal if you regularly write financial or abundance intentions. Or you can keep it somewhere you naturally see it when planning your work, business, or finances. But please don't put a large raw crystal directly inside a wallet where it can damage cards, scratch surfaces, or become uncomfortable. And don't treat the placement as a guarantee of financial results. The location is symbolic. Your actions are what create real-world results. Now, let's make this even more interesting. What happens if you combine green aventurine with other crystals? This is where you should be careful. There is no scientifically proven formula saying that combining a specific number of crystals will guarantee money, love, success, or protection. However, within crystal traditions, different stones are often given different symbolic purposes. So, for example, green aventurine may be used symbolically for growth and opportunity. Citrine is commonly associated with confidence, prosperity, optimism, and abundance. Clear quartz is traditionally used as an intention or amplification stone. Pyrite is often associated symbolically with wealth, confidence, action, and business energy. So instead of randomly stacking crystals because someone online said, "Wear these 5 crystals together and money will come," think about the intention behind the combination. Are you focusing on opportunity, confidence, business growth, consistency, financial discipline, visibility, career progress? Because the best crystal combination is not necessarily the one with the most stones. It is the one that makes sense for the intention you are actually working on. And this is something I want you to remember. More crystals do not automatically mean more energy. More bracelets do not automatically mean faster manifestation. And buying every crystal marketed as a money crystal is not the same as having a thoughtful crystal practice. Sometimes, one carefully selected crystal with a clear intention is far more meaningful than wearing 10 random bracelets without knowing why you chose them. And if you have ever wondered why one person says green aventurine worked beautifully for them, while another person says they felt absolutely nothing, this is exactly why. Crystal experiences are personal and subjective. There is no reliable scientific evidence that crystals emit a special force that directly creates financial outcomes. But people can still find value in them through symbolism, ritual, mindfulness, reflection, and intentional behavior. So if green aventurine makes you feel more focused, hopeful, grounded, or intentional about your goals, you can use that meaning. Just don't surrender your financial decisions to a stone. Use the crystal as a reminder. Then do the work. Learn. Create. Apply. Communicate. Take opportunities. Build skills. Manage your money responsibly. And keep moving. That is where the real transformation happens. Now, before you leave, I want you to do something. Look at your current relationship with money and ask yourself one honest question. Am I trying to attract money? Or am I actually preparing myself to handle, create, and grow money? Because those are 2 very different things. And if this video changed the way you look at green aventurine, don't just scroll away. Comment one word below. Growth. Not because commenting magically attracts money, but because writing down an intention makes you stop for a moment and consciously acknowledge what you are working toward. And if you want more deep, honest crystal knowledge without exaggerated promises, fear-based claims, or the usual wear this crystal and become rich overnight content, subscribe to the channel. Because here, we don't just talk about what a crystal is supposed to attract. We explore the symbolism, traditional uses, practical ways to work with crystals, and the reality behind the claims. And if you know someone who keeps crystals in their wallet or believes green aventurine is a money magnet, share this video with them. Maybe this will completely change the way they understand their crystal practice. And before you go, I want to tell you something important about crystal combinations. Choosing a bracelet should not be about following whatever combination is trending online. Because your goals are not identical to someone else's goals. The combination that makes sense for one person may not be the most meaningful combination for another. Maybe your focus is career growth. Maybe it is business visibility. Maybe confidence. Maybe opportunity. Maybe abundance. Maybe you simply want a more intentional daily crystal practice. And this is exactly why I created my personal crystal 3-bracelet combination blueprint. Instead of randomly choosing 3 bracelets, the idea is to look at your personal goal and create a more intentional combination around it. I'll guide you on suitable crystal combinations, which wrist you may choose based on your intended practice, how many bracelets to combine, and how to approach cleansing, charging, and everyday use. And most importantly, the goal isn't to promise you a magical shortcut. It is to help you understand why you are choosing each crystal, so your bracelet combination actually has meaning behind it. If you want your personal 3-bracelet crystal combination blueprint, you'll find the details in the description. And don't wait until you've already bought 3 or 4 random bracelets and then wonder which ones actually make sense together. Understand your combination first. Choose intentionally. Use consciously. And then let your actions meet your intentions. The link and details are waiting in the description. So, if you're serious about building a crystal practice that feels personal rather than random, go check it out. And remember, green aventurine doesn't need to magically create money to have a meaningful place in your practice. Sometimes the most powerful thing a crystal can do is remind you of the person you are becoming. Every single time you see it. If this video gave you a perspective you hadn't heard before, comment growth, subscribe for more honest crystal knowledge, and share this with someone who needs to hear the difference between using crystals intentionally and simply expecting crystals to do the work for you. Your intention sets the direction. Your choices create the movement. And your actions create the real-world change.